Tonight on KGW News.
The president is coming!
A presidential visit to Portland has some ecstatic and others
It doesn't make no difference,
just worried about getting around. We'll break down the schedule and possible traffic trouble.
Plus, a man known as the Jogger Rapist is about to walk free.
He is a very vicious and brutal serial rapist.
Why he's being released under the lowest possible level of supervision.
And later, revitalizing Oregon's downtown districts, the plan to make the most of space that's been empty for years. Your news starts now.
Good evening, and we begin tonight with the final preparations for President Biden's arrival in Portland. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Laurel Porter. The president's team is keeping a lot of details under wraps tonight, but we do understand he will be here from Friday evening until Saturday afternoon, and showing his support for Democrat Tina Kotek in the razor-thin race for Oregon governor. Catherine Cook is here now, and Catherine, walk us through what we know so far.
Well, Laurel, the biggest impact will be traffic. From TriMet to Portland Police, several agencies are warning that things could get dicey with closures and delays on a lot of major freeways and access roads. And while the president won't arrive until tomorrow evening, preparation is already well underway.
In downtown Portland, the word is out.
We have the president of the United States coming.
We caught John Gelly between hotel deliveries. If he doesn't seem too enthused about all this, he's not.
I'm guessing I'm going to skip Dunaway today because you could see.
Biden's advance team wouldn't confirm if this is where the president will be staying Friday night, but it's unlikely the fencing around Southwest 6th and Taylor is here for decoration.
It's very exciting because you can tell that something is going on and everybody's looking around asking, what's happening, what's happening? The president is coming. Can I say that? The president is coming.
If you couldn't tell, Daphne Epps is a fan. She happens to be in town from Flint, Michigan.
Are you kidding me? What are the chances of that, right?
As for who she can thank for her happy coincidence, political analysts point to Oregon's tight race for governor and Democratic candidate Tina Kotek.
I'm not sure she's in trouble, but she's in for the race of her life right now. I mean, the polls show it's a dead even race between her and Christine Drazan.
Pacific University political science professor Jim Moore thinks back to 2010. That's when former Governor John Kitzhaber was stumping for his third term. It was a tight race, and come October, President Barack Obama touched down in Portland.
And I think that's what Biden's visit is doing here, and what Kotek wants it to do here. You know, what his presence does, it says it's not just about Oregon issues, it's a nationally important election.
Here is the timing of all this. President Biden is expected to land in Portland around 6:30 Friday night, then attend a volunteer event with Oregon Democrats just after 7. Portland police say you should expect delays on major city roads Friday afternoon and evening. MAX and bus service will be disrupted too. Then on Saturday, the president will appear at a campaign event for Tina Kotek. This is President Biden's second visit to Portland in just 6 months. He was here in April to promote new funding for infrastructure investments, including seismic upgrades to the Port of Portland. He was only here for a few hours. This time, odds are better for Daphne Epps.
I'm hoping I'm going to be here to see him.
For security reasons, at this point, neither the White House nor police are releasing the exact locations for the president's visit or the exact road closures. However, police say some streets and transit lines in downtown Portland could be closed from early tomorrow morning until he leaves on Saturday. So we'll update you as soon as we get more details, David.
Definitely more than a 4 or 5 hour visit like we saw in April. Thank you, Catherine. By the way, we're going to have live coverage of the president's arrival on Air Force One tomorrow evening, right here, streaming on the KGW app and at KGW.com. Now, speaking of the race for governor, next week, KGW and the Oregonian are going to co-host the final debate between the top 3 candidates. That is Wednesday the 19th at 7 in the evening. You can watch it live on all our platforms, including the new KGW Plus on your Roku or Fire TV app. By the way, we are still looking for video questions from you for the candidates. Details on how to submit at KGW.com. Well, new tonight, we have a clearer picture of what led deputies to shoot a woman in Northeast Portland last week. This was the shooting that shut down Grand Avenue in the Lloyd district. The woman who was shot is named Erin Jude. She was released from the hospital today and booked into jail. Investigators say this started when Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies stopped a man they believe was associated with a stolen car. Now, once they had him in handcuffs, they say he yelled to Jude, who was waiting in another car nearby. That's when she allegedly pulled out a gun and pointed it at a deputy. Now, Deputy Roy McPherson then fired the shots, hitting Jude. The male suspect got in the car with her, and police say they drove off. It ended a few blocks away because they crashed into two other vehicles. Both suspects were taken into custody. They're now charged with attempted aggravated murder and other counts. The deputy involved remains on leave.
Now to push back on a serial rapist set to be released from prison after more than 30 years behind bars. Even more concerning for his victims, Richard Gilmore, also known as the jogger rapist, will be classified as a low-level sex offender. That means the state won't automatically be notifying neighbors of Gilmore's presence wherever he ends up. Danielle Tudor was one of Gilmore's victims, raped inside her Southeast Portland home in 1979 when she was 17. She is one of 9 female victims Gilmore has admitted to attacking. But because of statute of limitation rules at the time, he was only convicted of raping a 13-year-old girl in 1986. Victims like Tudor say Gilmore's release as a level 1 offender shows Oregon's system is broken.
What makes me angry now is the fact that we think it's acceptable that he is a level 1, because he is not. He is a very vicious and brutal serial rapist.
The executive director of the parole board did express empathy for victims, but also said the system Oregon is currently using is used widely across the country and in other countries too. He also says Gilmore will be on post-prison supervision until the year 2034. His release is set on December 16th.
Well, to an update tonight on a voyeurism case in the Vancouver School District. Police have arrested 38-year-old James Matson today on 137 counts of voyeurism. Investigators say these charges are in connection with videos recorded in women's staff bathrooms at Skyview High School. Now, recordings, they say, go as far back as 2013. You might remember we first reported on this case last week with allegations that a Vancouver district employee recorded girls in their locker room at Alki Middle School. Now, no update on that front, though. Investigators say additional charges could be possible and add the employee had access to other buildings in the district. A 16-year-old high school student has been arrested for a lunchtime shooting in Troutdale. Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies say shots were fired Monday in Columbia Park. That is right next to Reynolds High. Nobody was injured, though investigators say a bullet struck a home there. The sheriff's office is asking anyone with information or surveillance video from that time to please come forward. The teen is currently being held at the County Juvenile Justice Center.
Newly released video gives us a better idea of what happened the night a woman opened fire on 2 Gladstone police officers. We do have a warning. You don't see the shooting in this video, but you do hear it, and some might find it hard to watch. It is important to note that everyone survived. The Clackamas County District Attorney released the video following the sentencing of the suspect yesterday. Gladstone police had pulled over Yvette Garcia and found that she had a warrant out of Texas. She was going to jail, but told officers she was worried about her dogs. They agreed to take her home so they could gather the dogs to take them to animal control. As one of the officers was trying to get a leash on a dog, Garcia grabbed a gun and started shooting. Even though she was handcuffed, she managed to shoot one of the officers in the leg. Now, this is the perspective of a fellow officer as he ran into the house to help.
She got a gun? Yeah. 1-9, shots fired!
The suspect, Garcia, was shot multiple times. She recovered and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. The officer who was shot has permanent damage and has left the Gladstone Police Department.